North Korean leader Kim Jong-un entered the new year with a vow. He has sworn to mass-produce battlefield nuclear weapons. And this spells bad news for South Korea and the US. At such a time, one would expect the allies to be on the same page. But the leaders of the US and South Korea are making contradictory statements. They don't seem to be on the same page. Yoon Suk Yeol says that the US and South Korea are discussing joint nuclear exercises, but Biden has denied having any such discussions. What's really going on here? Our next report bringing you the details.
North Korea is amping up its nuclear arsenal. Leader Kim Jong-un has called for developing new intercontinental ballistic missiles that would be capable of striking the US mainland. He has vowed to mass-produce battlefield nuclear weapons, which would target South Korea. Experts say Kim aims to use his enlarged weapons arsenal for concessions. Western sanctions are a prominent example. Such a bid from Kim Jong-un was bound to raise concerns. In recent months, North Korea had already fired several missiles off its east coast. The missiles had enough range to hit the US mainland and Japan. So what is the US doing about it now? And what is South Korea's stance? Being North Korea's closest neighbor, South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol has claimed that South Korea and the US are in talks on exercises involving US nuclear assets. Basically, discussions on joint planning and exercises involving US nuclear assets to counter North Korea's nuclear threats. But when Biden was asked a question about whether he was currently discussing joint nuclear exercises with South Korea, he said no. He denied having any such discussions. You see, South Korea doesn't own nuclear weapons. It is under an American nuclear umbrella, meaning it relies on the US for protection from nuclear weapons. The nuclear umbrella guarantees a devastating American response if any of its allies is attacked. But questions loom regarding the effectiveness of such a security commitment. The sole decision to use the US nuclear weapons lies with the US president. Does it ensure enough security for its allies? President Yoon has said that while the US nuclear weapons belong to the US, planning, intel sharing, and drills must be jointly conducted with South Korea. And seeing the current levels of US security commitment, he finds it difficult to assure his people of a security guarantee. Clearly, there is some miscommunication between Seoul and Washington. But what is the reason for this? Experts are speculating that the allies are using unofficial channels to discuss the topic. This could allow South Korea to claim discussing the issue, and at the same time it could allow Washington to deny it. Both the US and South Korean presidential offices have denied any contradiction between the Biden and Yoon comments. The US says since South Korea is not a nuclear weapons state, it cannot technically participate in joint nuclear exercises, although they will explore working together to strengthen deterrence against North Korean threats. Meanwhile, Kim Jong-un is not only expanding the North Korean nuclear arsenal, but he is also planning to develop a missile with quick nuclear counterstrike capability. United States and South Korean drills would focus on responding to a nuclear attack. If North Korea ever goes ahead with it, the drills are essentially conducted to check a country's response arrangements to possible nuclear and radiological emergencies. After all, the response time is the most important factor in the event of a nuclear attack. Seeing Kim Jong-un's increasing threats, US and South Korea need to brace for possible attacks, while North Korean threats have escalated tensions. How credible are they in real terms? Are they close to what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Experts believe Kim Jong-un knows better than that. But as he continues to stockpile nuclear weapons, the tensions continue to escalate, leaving the Korean peninsula on the edge.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.